Fly me to the moon and let me play. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Nayenda doing a reading for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and North Node. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can check out my information in the bio down below. I almost said in the bayou. Have you been to Louisiana before? I've never been to Louisiana. There's a lot of places that I've never been. I've only been to like the coasts and not even like I've been to, obviously my family's from New York. So well, my dad's side is from New York. So I've been to New York a million times. Jersey, I've been to PA, I've been to obviously Maryland. I've been to Georgia, I've been to Virginia. As a baby, I went to North Carolina. I guess what I'm trying to say is I've never really gone to the South before. You know? My grandma, why am I telling you this? Anyway, Scorpio, we're gonna get right into your reading. If you like to buy me un cafecito también, that information's in my bio too. In case that threw you off, if you'd like to buy me a coffee, that information is in my bio. So let's go ahead and get started. I don't know if the South is of significance to you, Scorpio. If maybe you're from Louisiana, if you're in Louisiana right now, if your family's from Louisiana, or if something about voodoo, or oh wait a minute, when is Mardi Gras? Oh, Mardi Gras is coming up. Holy shit, isn't that this month? Oh, well, anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get right into it. I'm hearing I heard all my bitches Spanish, so I don't know if you're dealing with Hispanic women. Let's hope it's just one. But anyway, let's go ahead and get a message for you, Scorpio. Let's see. What message do we have for Scorpio placements? Hey, wait, I got a new complaint. Forever in debt to your priceless advice. I don't know if that's in my head because of you, Scorpio, or if it's because I just fucking love Nirvana. But just in case that is a synchronicity for some of you guys, that is a really good Nirvana song. Also kind of a heart-wrenching song. If you know anything about the connection between Kurt Cobain and Courtney Love. But anyway, if we take that context out of it, the song is essentially him professing like how deeply he really like loves this woman, like to the point where it's like he damn near hangs on every word. So you could be connecting to somebody in that way, Scorpio. I'm hearing animalistic tendencies, but it's not in like a derogatory way. It's almost kind of like there's some sort of, okay, so Kurt Cobain is one of my favorite artists, right? Nirvana is one of my favorite bands, but Kurt Cobain, his writing style is one of my favorite. And the reason why it's my favorite is because I feel like, well, number one, we're both Plutonians. So what I mean when I say we're both Plutonian, it means that we both have Pluto in the first house. And people that have Pluto in the first house have a very specific, very intense, almost kind of chaotic kind of energy. So I have Pluto in the first house. Kurt Cobain had Pluto in the first house. Beyonce has Pluto in the first house, actually. But the energy behind Plutonians, it's very powerful. It's very intense. Pluto rules Scorpio in contemporary astrology. Very magnetic, but also very sexual. But like the way that Pluto expresses sex is almost kind of like soul consuming. It's like it's no longer something physical when Pluto gets involved. It's something that's like, it's almost kind of like a regenerative kind of thing. And it's true because having sex, it actually can make or break you in a lot of spiritual contexts, believe it or not. That's the reason why it's really encouraged for people that are in this path to not have sex casually at all. Especially if you are somebody that's of a divine lineage, you could end up creating soul ties with people that aren't evenly yoked with you. I don't know why that just came out. But anyways, we do have sex magic here, and then we have fertilizing and bonfire. So it does look like there's something that I'm just hearing that you feel really intensely about, but also you feel really deeply for. This could even be an individual. But this isn't necessarily about sex, believe it or not. It's about disinhibiting yourself. Does that make sense? It's about unleashing your true self. There's a lot of shame that is there's a lot of shame and a lot of people surrounding sex, almost kind of like sex is such a dirty thing to where it's like the way, what I've noticed is that when people have an a shameful perspective of sex, they treat it in one of two ways. They either treat it as something that like, oh no, we can't talk about that, or they treat it like it doesn't mean anything. And it's like, I don't know how to describe it, but when you, I don't know why I'm talking about this, when you view sex as a form of worship, when you view sex as something reverential, when you view it as the impetus to bringing a soul from the world of the dead into the world of the living, sex is not something to take lightly by any means. But apart from that, if it's not about sex, it's also pertaining to like your true wild self, the self that might have been either beaten out of you or trained out of you or raised out of you, whether that be through religion, whether that be through school, whether that be through your career, whether that be through your family. There's something primal in you that if you were to actually unleash that primality, if you were to actually just allow yourself to be truly who you are, like feel the strong feelings, not saying to let them control your life, but it's like when I'm talking about Kurt Cobain, right? He was so much water in his chart. He never had it's kind of sad. But so much water in his chart, but it's like because he had so much water in his chart, it was almost kind of like when he made music, it was magical. It's like what it does to people, it like gets to like the deep core of their soul, to the point where there are people walking around with Nirvana shirts that like don't even listen to Nirvana like that. Like he has become a symbol of something, and it's like that unhinged everything. But the biggest thing that Kurt Cobain expressed himself about a lot was through sex and reproduction. You know what I'm saying? Childbirth. He made a lot of references to babies. You could be considering having a child here soon too. But this is also more important than that. This is also about unleashing your inner child or your truest self. Because remember, when you were a child, that was when you were your truest self before you were socialized into fitting in or into what is and is not appropriate. And there's nothing wrong with that. But what ends up happening is that you end up taking a really extreme stance on things because of how you were raised or what your experiences were. Sometimes you take extreme stances simply to protect yourself. You might not even view them as extreme. You just think that this is what you need to do, right? But there's a fire inside of you. And it's like, what I'm kind of getting, Scorpio, is the fire that's inside of you. You have been holding it down. Like you have been suppressing it. And like I said, this isn't about anger necessarily, although it can be, it could be, but it's almost kind of like there is this raw, wild, passionate, profound, just like soul shaking version of yourself that you are holding back. I feel like I'm talking to myself, that you are holding back. Maybe for some of you, it's because you're afraid of how people will react to it. For others of you, it could be because maybe just you've been socialized that way, where you're like, was this appropriate? Like I said, I grew up in a really strict religion. There's a lot of shit that's been programmed into my mind that I struggle. I struggle undoing. And it's like, it's so funny because the things that were programmed into me are so anti-me. Like I am very sensual. I don't express it through my, it's an energy. It's not necessarily an action. And maybe that could be another thing with you. Like it's kind of like maybe you're beginning to learn how to channel energies instead of becoming like just succumbing to them. Because there's another power that you gain when you're not working through shame, Scorpio. And it's the ability when you can accept those dark, murky parts of yourself. When you can accept those dark, murky parts of yourself, when you can accept all parts of yourself without attributing them as good or bad or appropriate or inappropriate. Bitch, this is just who I am. Take it or leave it. What ends up happening is that when people try to provoke you or when people try to work their brain on you, especially when they're trying to target you, a lot of the times they try to target where your shame is at. But let me hit you with this. What if the shame isn't there anymore? You know what I mean? What if the shame isn't there? Like, okay, you're hitting me about this. I don't give a fuck about that though. It could even be about your past too. It'd be like you did something in the past and it's just like, oh yeah, well, you used to do A, B, and C, and it's like, okay. Okay, and I used to do a lot of shit too, so did you. What's your point? There's a power in just accepting you in your entirety, right? And for a lot of you, it's accepting the fact that you might feel a lot deeper. You might feel a lot deeper than you allow people to see. You might feel a lot deeper than you allow other people to experience. Um, yeah. For some of you guys, it's because of there's a sense of guilt or shame. We're gonna get into it though, but it's like something that you don't need to feel guilty or feel ashamed of necessarily. It's like you're trying to create something. I would like to see what this is pertaining to, because for some of you this could be career. It's almost kind of like something is being dredged up from your self-conscious. Something you're self-conscious about is being dredged up in your subconscious so that you could begin to view it as a strength and not a weakness, okay? And it's like maybe it's something about yourself that maybe you've always been openly expressive about, whether that be your emotions, whether that be, let's get into it, maybe even your music. What do we have for Scorpio? I'll give you guys this in my example. This is something that I've been struggling with, and I'm a Scorpio rising, if you couldn't tell. I've been writing music and recording music for about a year and a half now. And I haven't shared any of them simply because of how raw and passionate my songs really are, to the point where it's like I get scared and I'm like, I don't know if I should be well, number one, because I was raised in a very strict religious household, right? And for that reason, it's like there was a lot of shit that I got in trouble for that I wasn't even doing. Like I was always very sexualized as a kid, as uncomfortable. But people with Scorpio risings actually do struggle with that. It's actually really bad. And people with Scorpio ascendants typically are blamed for the reason why they're sexualized. So like I had like a 40-year-old man sexualizing me when I was like 14, and it was like I was wearing a bathrobe, and the bathrobe was like a child's bathrobe. It had like a rubber ducky on it and like a little moon. Like my stepdad had gotten it for me when I was like 8. And I haven't grown much since like 12, okay? But I just posted it on Facebook, and I was like 14, 15, and he had commented on my behind, my ass. Which, you know, the thing is thanging. It's been thanging for a long time. But why are you 40 talking to a 15-year-old like that? And I actually ended up getting in trouble because of it. Religious household. Where it's like, well, why would you post that? Why would you post that picture if that robe was tight on you? And I'm like, I was literally, first of all, I didn't even take the picture. Secondly, I love how we're making it my fault for having an ass and not his fault for like talking about it when he's like 30 years older than me. And this is a guy who it's unsettling to think about now, Scorpio, but I went to his mom's daycare. Yeah. Yeah, scary shit like that. Maybe there's something you've hidden from yourself because you were abused in the past. That's also another thing. For some of you guys, it could simply be just your raw, passionate, emotional self. You could be somebody that is very emotional, and maybe you were, I think I was talking to Virgo about men being socialized out of being emotional, or out of expressing their emotions, or out of even being in touch with them. Um, and that could apply to you too. You could go ahead and check out the Virgo reading if you wanted to hear that little spiel, but it could be something about your emotions and expressing them in a way that's true to you without caring what other people are going to say. Your energy is coming through here. We also have Leo energy coming. We have heavy Scorpio energy here, actually. We have Cancer here present as well. Oh, that reminds me too, Scorpio. The other day, I recorded a reading for you, and I didn't upload it because my hair wasn't done. And but there was also this message. I kept hearing the song "Cheat Back" from Chloe Bailey. Excuse me. And I was explaining, there was a storyline I had, it was like 2 days ago, where it's like, I don't know if you have been in this whole energy of cheating back, or somebody who's in the energy of cheating back, or some shit like that. But we're going to get to that later. If it comes back out, I'll explain it. So Scorpio, I do see that you're coming out of some kind of, it looks like a financial loss. You look happy though. Positive. And if you're not, you should be, for whatever reason. But it does look like you're coming across very emotionally balanced and happy and positive. There might have been something shocking that happened to you recently. And it could have led to some sort of financial loss, or you could have just taken a loss. And now you're kind of coming back from that. I'm getting you're kind of coming back from that. Where it's like maybe this loss happened a while ago. Maybe I'm hearing somebody might have stolen something from you or tried to. I'm also hearing pride based thinking. Maybe you're beginning to realize that somebody did something out of pride based thinking, or maybe you did. Um, it does look like there is some attempt to make some sort of decision because of some chaotic energy that's surrounding you. It's like maybe you're having a hard time, or maybe in the past you were struggling to make a decision because of the chaos. Like you couldn't see through it, especially with it being underneath this tower. I'm hearing tower phase. So it's like there could have been a period of your life, Scorpio, that was just straight fucking chaos. And I don't know, maybe it's finally slowing down and you can calm down, or it came to a head and it's finally starting to mellow out for you. Um, I'm almost kind of getting that maybe you were investing a lot more mental energy in it than you needed to. But yeah, you might have just decided just not to engage in something anymore, not to engage with somebody anymore, just because it was chaotic. And it was kind of like maybe you were trying to make something work in the past, or maybe you were trying to make something fit that just didn't fucking fit. It does look like there is some sort of opportunity to make money on the horizon, though, if money is your concern. You could be working with a woman. Hmm. For some of you guys, as crazy as this sound, there's a woman that you could have a child with, and that could the birth of said child, as crazy as this sounds, the birth of said child could bring in money for you. Does that make sense? It's like children are also a sign of abundance. So abundance is fertility, right? So whatever's around you is growing. So it's just kind of like, I don't know, just take that because it's a stork. So I was just adding that in there too. It could also be that there could be a woman that is giving you, I'm hearing a surprise key. There's a surprise key. So I'm not sure if that's literal or if it's figurative. A surprise key that maybe helps you to get past some sort of obstacle. Um, yeah, it's like there's something. For others of you, there's something you're trying to get past to get to this woman. I'm hearing remarkable circumstances. Okay. But anyways, oh wow. Okay, Scorpio, I'm not sure, you could be a man. There's something about a cycle ending. If you are a man, this tidbit is specifically for you. You might have been experiencing mirrors of yourself through the women that you have been dating. And it's like maybe you weren't seeing a pattern in something until you finally saw it. So that could come through, like what I'm getting with this Queen of Swords reversed is like this could be a feminine energy that's very cold, very detached, very mean, almost kind of like bitey, like very insulting, likes to start issues, mind games and stuff like that. And then there's other types of women here with the Queen of Cups reversed that are very emotionally manipulative. Not necessarily that they're mean and biting, but they could be insecure, needy, codependent. And it's like the way that they tried to get to you was by means of that route, right? This could also represent somebody that has like issues with vices. I'm hearing something about a Pisces. Issues with like vices and drugs and stuff like that. And it looks like you're beginning to end cycles with people that carry that kind of energy. But the reason why those cycles are ending is because you're showing up as the King of Cups upright. Now you don't have to be a man. It's coming across as a masculine energy, and it's one king and a bunch of queens. Okay, so it's like this could even symbolize like I'm hearing something about marriage or marriage material, but it's like you could have been dating and trying to find out, like, okay, what is it that I'm looking for in a partner? Because we have the ring here. Ooh, and then we have whip and broom. So some of you guys might have actually been in really, I'm just hearing like codependent relationships. I was actually researching codependence this morning. And what I was seeing the psychologist say in the video, I'm gonna have to put a link in that. You have to watch that video where he says that codependence, a lot of people focus on like the needy, like can't do anything for themselves codependent, but they actually don't know that there's two sides to codependency. And the person that is enabling that person is just as codependent as the needy person, believe it or not. And essentially what he was saying was that codependent people fall into two categories. Either you are the victim codependent person, or you are the fixer codependent person. And that shit hit me like a ton of bricks, because I realized I'm the fixer, where it's like you get into a less than ideal situation and you try to force that person or encourage that person to change so that they can meet your needs, instead of just finding somebody that meets your fucking needs, right? um and what the guy asked, he was like, I challenge you to ask yourself, what fantasy are you trying to have this person fulfill for you with what exactly it is that you're trying to get them to change into? Because the reality of it is, and it could go down to anything, like jobs, it can come down to religion. Like I learned that I was very codependent on my religion, believe it or not. You can be codependent on a lot of things, but ultimately, I'm hearing something about spy. Somebody could be spying on you, Scorpio. But anyways, it ultimately, you don't really see a pattern in a relationship until you see it in yourself first. At least that's what it is, in my opinion. I feel like a lot of people, and obviously if you're processing an emotion, it's a different story, but I feel like a lot of people get really caught up in the you thing. And it's like, and if people are like cheating and lying and stealing and doing all that crazy shit, it's really easy to. But ultimately, and I told Leo that too, the question is, why are you in those situations, right? And if you are in those situations, why aren't you trying to find a way out of them, right? Why are you trying to force somebody to be something or someone that they're not, right? And there's a difference in somebody changing because you motivated or inspired them to change and be a better person, or a person changing simply to keep you around, right? There was a lot to it. I'm gonna have to post that video somewhere. I feel like I'm talking in circles. But what I really am getting for you, Scorpio, is that maybe, I don't know, because with the earlier message, it's almost kind of like, huh, it feels like love. It doesn't have to be love, but whoever you were surrounding yourself with were mirroring your wounds, right? And it's like, as you begin to heal those wounds, there's certain things that you're not attracted to anymore, but also things that you just don't respond to anymore. Like for me, like I think I have a lot of people project onto me, but we talked about it earlier, like people project the craziest shit onto me. But the biggest thing is that I've had it done to me for so long, and I think that my biggest issue was that I was just tired of not being seen for who I truly am. And then I began to realize, I think I've said this once before too, I wasn't being seen for who I truly am because I wasn't showing who I truly was. Because I felt like if I showed you this, then if you attack that, then you're not attacking me and I'm still safe. But then what ends up happening is you get a lot of people that also aren't showing their hand. And they'll still mirror your wounds back to you, whether you're hiding them or not, right? But Scorpio, what I am really seeing here is you've outgrown something, you've evolved past something to the point where it's like certain people, you might have gone through so much loss and so much bullshit, or maybe the same situation over and over and over and over and over again, where you were just like, why does this keep happening? Like, I just don't, what the fuck is going on? You could have gone to therapy, or you could be considering going to therapy. Like, what is this pattern and how do I drop it? Like, what? And maybe you began to realize that it was the emotions that you are avoiding, or you were avoiding. Can I get further clarity on this for Scorpio, please? Yeah, it could have even been a past heartbreak, Scorpio. Yeah, it could have been a heartbreak in the past, or even a series of heartbreaks. It's like maybe people didn't reinvest in you as much as you invested in them. With this Three of Pentacles reversed, it could even be like there was a lot of infidelity and stuff like that going on in your relationships. And it's like, you might have become an embodiment of your pain for a while there. And it's like when you're dating people, it was like you were seeing yourself in those people, and a lot of those toxic traits were beginning to come out. But I do see hope on the horizon. It does look like you're finally giving up on this being stuck in your head phase and just moving on and moving away from the fighting and the defensiveness and the toxicity. And if you're not already reaching this happiness, Scorpio, you will be, because you are coming across as, I'm hearing, very dominant, but like in a good way. But coming across very well tempered, very in control, and very positive. And it's just kind of like, once you hit rock bottom, there's no other way to go but up, right? That's really what it looks like here. I want to get more information on these queens, all these queens. All these queens, and they're all in reverse. So what's up? So clarity on the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Cups reverse, please. Yeah, there's something about people working their brain on you. And like being really like emotionally volatile, like not being honest. You could be dealing with a Gemini. I'm hearing a Virgo. It was like nobody said what they meant. It's Pisces energy here. Pisces energy here too. It's almost kind of like you were working with people that worked through illusions. It's like they never said what they wanted. They never said what they really meant. They never said what they were truly doing. It's like everything was always a fucking mind game, and always like an emotional tug of war, an emotional back and forth. And it's like, yeah, I keep hearing the alley oop. It's like you couldn't ground yourself with anybody, but maybe you weren't grounded yourself, Scorpio. You know what I'm saying? Clarity on this Knight of Swords. Oh, okay. For some of you guys, you might have actually not seen the difference in these people until you actually met somebody that was truly confident in themselves. And then when you met, oh, okay, so here we go, new storyline. So maybe you were dealing with individuals who were mirrors of your wounds, and maybe you didn't realize that you had actually reached a point where you were ready to evolve out of that. And you ended up meeting somebody that did not, that maybe mirrored your wounds, but almost kind of mirrored them in a more positive way, where it's like you share similar experiences or similar trauma, but whoever this individual is very confident. So it's like maybe the people in the past, maybe you guys had similar wounds or similar insecurities that they just weren't addressing or they weren't healing. And you also were not addressing and you also were not healing. So what ended up happening was you end up in these really volatile connections where it's like war, like literally. I think I said that one time. It was like love is only a battlefield if you make it one. Like that's what I swear to God, it's really only, I don't feel like love is a battlefield. I feel like love is a hospital. It's a rehabilitation center. And of course the TikTok warriors would argue me on that, but you could fuck off. Fuck off. Because honestly, we do heal through people. You know, you do work on your own. You do work on your own as well, but you do heal through people. That's just point blank. Period. You don't have to like it. You heal through people and you hurt through people. You can't avoid people. As much as I try really hard. But what it looks like is you ended up. For some of you guys, you might have ended up finding somebody, and I'm almost kind of getting that it might have been really quick, very sudden. Where you ended up finding somebody that maybe did have similar wounds to you, but did not carry themselves or did not react in the same way as these other people did. But what ends up happening from that with this 10 of Cups reversed and the 6 of Cups reversed is that you might have actually started projecting those wounds onto this individual who had actually addressed those problems in their life. So this is somebody who had evolved past it. And then what I'm kind of seeing here is maybe that shed a mirror on this, which is essentially issues in your upbringing, unhappy family home, domestic life, and stuff like that, where it's like like for example, I talked about that cheat back thing, right? The reading was really funny because it looked like somebody had done cheated on you or something like that, and it was to try to teach you a lesson, but like it really just turned you off and you're like, all right, cool, I'm done. And then it turned into this like, oh no, wait, please, Scorpio. And it was like, because it was like you had grown past that. It was just kind of like, okay, well, we could have had a conversation or some shit. You know, we could have definitely, like, we're grown. Like, what the fuck? Like, it's like that. And then it's like trying to backpedal, like, oh no. Because I'm going to be honest with you. Anybody who uses cheating as a method of punishment, number one, whether they realize it or not, it's an abuse tactic. It is to trigger an emotional response. It's to trigger, honestly, it's like voluntarily traumatizing somebody just to get a point across. And what my argument was in the reading that I deleted because my hair was not hairing like I needed it to, I was saying, you have to be, and this is my opinion, not taking any shots, Scorpio, you have to be a very emotionally weak individual to cheat back on somebody. That's my opinion, because cheating back insinuates that I'm gonna stay with you. And why would I do that if you're not respecting me? Why would I stay with you if you're not honoring me and treating me the way that I deserve to be treated? Cheat back, I'll just leave you. Like, ultimately, it's like, this wasn't just about having anybody around. This was about having you around. I don't want anybody. I'm not here just for anybody's attention. I'm here for your attention. So if you don't want that from me, then I'm just not going to be around. What the fuck do I look like finding somebody else? Why would I lower myself to your standards or to this kind of behavior simply because you're insecure enough to need any old Tom, Dick, and Harry to hit you up just to make you feel good about yourself? That doesn't make any sense to me. It's like, I'm not afraid of being alone. This is, like I said, it's not about just having anybody. It's about having my person. And I don't know, Scorpio, it looks like maybe you might have done some stuff. You might have displayed some behaviors to somebody who actually does have communication skills. And with this Ace of Cups, whoever this person is really likes you. And they're not afraid to show it with this Knight of Swords. It's like they really like you. And it's almost kind of like they're confident. It's almost kind of giving me whoever this person is confident in love. It's like, you know, whatever's going to happen, it's going to happen. And whatever went through you with these people and then this person, it started to make you look back maybe on your childhood, those childhood wounds, or maybe family conditioning or something like that, and begin to realize, like, okay, there's an issue here. Like, why am I reacting like this? What happened to me, and what all happened to me that put me in these situations or made me start choosing these situations, and how can I get out of them? And it does look like you really did do a lot of work, Scorpio. I feel like you should be proud of yourself, honestly. I want clarity on this Two of Wands. We got 30 minutes. Yeah, we got more Leo energy. You're coming across very confident, controlled. Oh my gosh, Scorpio! In control. In control. You're coming across in divine masculine energy. It's like the Emperor is, he might be kind of stoic, you know. He might not be the most openly emotional person, but he's very, my ear's ringing, very well tempered. He knows what he wants. He's going to get what he wants. He doesn't let anybody just sway him. He brings structure where there is none. And that you don't become this until you become this. Until you become confident in yourself and who you are, you can never become this Emperor or even an Empress energy, because you're going to always be doing everything to try to prove to yourself that you are or you're not something or someone that you don't want to be. And that's really what it's looking like, Scorpio. I hope that made sense. Yeah, now I'm hearing the cheap back song. So what's the final message that we have from Scorpio? Yeah, I think we have, hello. Yes, so Scorpio, the final message that we have, especially if you're dealing with like some like insecure, needy, I'm hearing greedy people around you. You're just coming across, I like this. Okay. We'll work with this. You're coming across really, you got it together. It's like a wake-up call. It's like you got it together. The final message is, if you're feeling the need or the desire to hold back, I'm getting you. So a lot of you guys might be men here with this Queen of Pentacles in reverse energy. That also give you like gold digger energy. But Queen of Pentacles reverse is somebody that's like very unstable, right? But with the Pentacles, it's like it's like on unsteady ground, shaky. I don't know how to describe it, but a lot of the times the Queen of Pentacles reversed, they can also be clingy, but it's like in a controlling way, like a domineering, I want my way or the highway kind of a thing. But it also, this is the gold digger card for me as well. You could be feeling like holding back. I'm hearing holding back sexually or holding back energetically from people. Clarity on this Five of Cups reverse. You though, Scorpio, are looking like you're on good solid ground. Yeah, you're being advised to withhold your energy from people that represent that past side of you. Yes, 100%. 100%. Especially because I'm hearing out of order. Like something's just off with these people. But it's like, you could be dealing with an Aquarius or a Pisces. Hold back from people who require you to step back into an old version of yourself to be able to function with them. And I'm also hearing, if anybody is out here trying to claim that they'll change for you, but they've done some fucked up stuff, like they've like actively traumatized you or actively like been mean to you or called you out your name or something like that. I'm not saying that they're not telling the truth. I don't know. I mean, we're both Scorpio dominants. Do you trust it? I don't trust that shit. But more importantly, I guess the I'm hearing the group. You've outgrown whatever the situation is, and I think that you're safe to just kind of wash your hands from it and just kind of dip out. You know, it's like, okay, well, I learned everything that I had to learn here. Especially if you've been feeling good, like withholding from motherfuckers. Like you've just been feeling real good. Like you've been feeling more peaceful. You've been sleeping better. Like everything, your money been getting better. Everything's been getting better when you've been withholding from these people. Don't feel pressured to reopen yourself back up to people that don't deserve that from you, because the aim is not to hide yourself to keep yourself safe. The aim is to be around people that you feel safe to open up with. Always be yourself. And that's what I'm gonna, my little tidbit for today is to always be yourself. Don't ever compromise yourself for anybody. And if you can't be your true authentic self, and what I mean by that is, of course, in the professional sphere, obviously, you're not going to go here like fully vulnerable, right? That's a different story. But if these are people that you're calling friends and family and you can't be yourself around them, I would just dip. Or you can't be like a higher version of yourself, I would just dip. Like, I don't know, maybe that's just me, but like, I'm not in the business of rehashing old shit that I've been past, that I don't feel like reliving the same situations over and over and over and over again. It's just not, it's not the look for me personally, Scorpio. I don't know about you, but it's just not for me. So let's get some advice cards and then we'll move on to Cancer. Definitely follow your inner compass right now. You could be getting a lot of messages in your, somebody or something is trying to block your intuition. It's not working. Somebody's trying to manipulate your feelings as well through, I'm hearing sexual energy. Yeah, but like, that's what I'm saying. Sex is not a weapon. No, I don't like that. I don't like when people weaponize sex. It could even be somebody trying to get in between you and another person, honestly. Honestly. That's kind of what it looks like here, Scorpio. It's like, especially if you are with somebody else, there's people like trying to throw it at you. But it's like, so I don't know. I don't know, Scorpio. How do you feel about this? Yeah, you're not stupid. Yeah, you're not stupid. Yeah, you're not stupid. You could see that. Okay. Yeah, they're coming across very jealous, insecure. It's like definitely giving try hard. But you've wised up to that. Maybe you did respond to stuff like that in the past. I don't know, Scorpio, but if anybody needs to tell, or if nobody's told you this today, I am very proud of you. So yay. We all out here growing and evolving, right? Like, isn't that great? Like, I hit 30 and I swear to God, you can't pay me to give a fuck no more. Like, I was thinking about somebody that really was like bullying me only a couple years ago. And it was like, I think she was trying to rev back up the other day. And I was like, child, I do not, girl, block. Anyways, I'm not doing this with you. So this is for me as well. I'm just kind of like, you're still on that? Girl, if you don't get the fuck out my face, I'm not doing it. And you shouldn't do it either, Scorpio. But I'm sending you lots of love. Don't forget to hit me up for that reading if you need it. Booyah. I'll see you later. Bye.